We begin with our ongoing investigation, our News 5 investigation, marijuana in Ohio. Good evening. Thank you for being here with us at 6 o'clock. I'm Katie Houston. Now, leading up to the election, we brought you a series of stories about what it was like to live with recreational cannabis up in Michigan. Well, now that issue, too, has passed by the voters. We're continuing our investigation now to find out what Ohio can learn about regulating this new industry. Let's bring back in our resident expert on this, News 5 investigator Jonathan Wall. She has been digging into this for months now. Jonathan, you spend so much time up in Michigan talking to so many people, and you learn a lot of insightful stuff.
Yeah, and pretty interesting too, because Katie, we talked to everybody from mayors to store owners to pretty much everybody in between, and they really did have advice about things like stores, legal fights, schools, and more. As the mayor of Hazel Park, Michigan, population 15,000 just outside of Detroit, Mike Webb has gone through the stages of legalizing marijuana.
I still don't have a problem with the recreational. It's just the people that have abused the process of the recreational is the issue.
He says that abuse came when his town wanted to limit the number of dispensaries.
We approved so many, and we went through the whole process of the 36 applicants we had for 4 places.
Pot prospectors took him to court, challenging the approval process.
Operators will come in and spend a lot of money trying to get a license, and then even if they win, they're still now holding this real estate and waiting for years and for the litigation to end.
Mayor Mike tells us they had to just give in and allow more pot stores to pop up instead of fighting lengthy and costly legal battles.
Whatever you do, make sure you have a bulletproof ordinance, because the lawyers are going to come for you.
The city manager for nearby Ferndale, Michigan, says Ohio municipalities that want marijuana sales should dedicate a staff person to be the city's cannabis expert.
On the front end, there's a lot of zoning and planning considerations. You got to understand what your buffers are going to be. You know, what are your absolute no-goes.
In Ferndale, Wally Manjo owns the store Nature's Remedy. He says he's seen questionable owners come and go.
I think some of these states need to really pay attention on how people are going to be dedicated to these facilities. Are they just in it for overnight, or are they in it to stay in it?
And what about employees in Michigan? Many government agencies have just stopped pre-employment marijuana screenings, but private businesses are allowed to drug test workers and job applicants, even fire people if they test positive. That could open up more legal challenges right here in Ohio.
If a person shows up to a drug test that's related to a job opportunity and they test positive for cannabis, they depending on the type of test, it could have been from a month prior.
Meanwhile, Hazel Park School District says it's seen more cases of cannabis in schools. Attitudes towards pot have changed now that it's legal.
We spent so much time back in the day about alcohol, teen driving drunk, right? The MADs, the SADs, where we need more of that now in terms of the marijuana.
The district says it's had to install vape sensors in all bathrooms, something Ohio schools should consider to catch THC vaping.
Today, the kids that bring it to school are bringing it in every form, whether it's a gummy, an edible, whether it's a small THC vape pens that are easily hid or passed off.
With so many products now offered from 8 marijuana stores in their 2-square-mile town, Mayor Mike has noticed
We have a little bit of a problem here because now the market is saturated.
same feeling in Ferndale.
It's really saturated now. They're in every corner.
What's interesting, while those two areas battle saturation, Detroit leaders fought for years to keep recreational marijuana dispensaries out of the city, only allowing stores to finally open this year. All things to keep in mind as marijuana becomes legal in Ohio.
Is it the best thing we did? I can't say it is. But is it a good thing to help out financially? Yes, it is.
And speaking of money, people in Michigan also talked about the sales tax. It's 10% there, like the law is currently written here. They say it's important to keep that lower to help prevent the black market from undercutting the regulated prices.
There's so much to figure out. Just when you think you got one thing nailed down, it opens up the door to another question.
Absolutely.
So I know you'll stay on it. Very interesting. Jonathan, thank you.